Okay, so we've seen a couple of different parameter passing implementations, and so let's think for a couple of minutes about the pros and cons of these various methods. So let's consider pass by value, pass by reference, and pass by name. So pass by value is sort of probably the most common across a lot of different languages. It's very simple. So you'd have variable values and they're copied into the subprogram, and then it's a local variable inside of the subprogram, and everything's very simple and easy to reason about. Um, the disadvantage here is that once you start working with very large objects, passing by value becomes very expensive because you have to copy the entire value when you copy it into the subprogram. But it is very easy to reason about, and so this is often the default in a lot of languages, specifically often even in systems languages. Pass by reference is far more efficient, so this kind of solves the problem of having to copy an entire object. So instead of copying the entire object, you just copy the reference to that object that you're trying to pass in. So on most platforms, this is only 32 or 64 bits. But of course, the disadvantage here is that now you have to reason about changes that are happening inside the subprogram and how they might affect things that are allocated outside the subprogram. So you open the door to concurrency issues and things like that. It's another layer of indirection, so every access has to go through a pointer, so you have to access two different places in memory now, which increases the potential for bad cache behavior and things like that. There are also aliasing issues, so maybe you have two things that are an alias for each other, and that's hard to detect sometimes. But this is attractive because it is more efficient when passing around large objects, and for that reason, it is often used in object-oriented languages. Pass by name is extremely powerful. So a lot of the early functional languages like Lisp had primarily pass by name. It's very powerful. It's very expensive to implement, and it is very difficult to reason about. And so for these reasons, and because most of the kind of practical imperative everyday programming that we do, pass by value and pass by reference, are fine. This is rarely used in modern languages.